Hello, my friend, and welcome. This is your moment. I'm Katarina Miletic, and you are listening to the podcast that will challenge you to think with your soul and believe that your only power is inside you. Hi, Joseph.
Hey, Katrina.
Hi.
How's it going?
Oh, I'm doing great. And it's so lovely to see you and to have you back. And it's absolute pleasure to reconnect and to hear what's been going on since you have been a guest on this show. Obviously, there is a lot going on behind the scenes because when we start talking first, we open the door to this greater possibility to let each other into one another's world and to learn from each other. So I'm very grateful that since our last interview, I have been a part of your community. I've been able to be inspired and to learn from you. And I wanted to have you on so that we can share a little bit more about these subjects that matter to every single one of us.
Yeah.
So what has
Yeah,
been happening since we last spoke?
Yeah, before I get into that, the feeling is mutual. First you were my client, and then I was your client, and then you put me in a podcast, and now we're working on a program together. So it's coming like a full circle. So, and that's what this is all about, like building relationships, across two continents. Basically, we are on two different continents. For me, basically, it's been, I did get COVID during the early part of December, but I was asymptomatic, so I was pretty much fine. And then after getting COVID, then I was like, great time to go to Hawaii. And I think you saw the video of like me diving with the sharks. I was pretty much underwater most of the time I was there, like with sharks and turtles and all of that. Since coming back, work's kept me busy, trying a new fitness routine, a different diet, cooking some new recipes, all of that. And then I also do like parkour, like the front flips and back flips and all of that. So there's certain moves that I want to do. Like the top of mine is this thing called like a round off and then a back flip right after that. I know physically I can do it. I just have never done it on the grass. So I'm like, I just need to work up the courage to do it and then do it. I would say that's where I'm at right now.
That's amazing. And I can see that there is a lot of planning and organization behind you going on that wall. I see
Yeah.
some amazing things coming in the making.
Yeah, it's a lot of post-it notes. It's like whenever I work with clients, it goes up on the wall, and then on the wall over there, it's like anytime I have a new idea, or something went wrong, or like I could do better, like it goes on over there. So I have all of my ideas and improvements to do for the next time in one place. It's not the most efficient way, because if you're moving apartments, which I did a few months back, you have to take all those post-it notes and then stick it back, and some of the post-it notes won't stick as well. So then you gotta have a new post-it note. And anyways, but I like post-it notes. So.
Practical problems, but I'm also visual like that, so it makes sense to have something in front of me, whether it's written in a notebook. It's somehow making more sense to me than digital, but I am old school.
Yeah.
I hear that you mentioned already that you had COVID, and with everything that we have been through in the last year, it has been a tough year for most people. I mean, it's safe to say for everyone, because we have all been challenged in certain ways, not all in the same way, but we all faced with you know majority of things happening in our personal lives, and our lives taking a different direction. We were so now home centered, we work from home, and we're experiencing same, if not even more stress for some of the
Yeah.
people. So I know that this is a subject that we both care about. We want to alert people to de-stressing, to the importance of noticing what is stressing us out. If you want to tell us a little bit more, how can we detect these things, and what are some of the best remedies, really?
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard thing, right? Like even I feel it. Like even though technically I would say, like, someone asked me, do you feel stressed? Like, no, I don't feel stressed at all. I'm like, great, but like, it's like someone made this quote, and it's like the small inconsequential surrenders that you do on a daily basis, like, slipping of your standards. Like maybe it's like getting up time, maybe it's your diet, like small inconsequential surrenders here and there. And any one action, it doesn't matter, but that momentum like slowly builds. And now, like with COVID, now it's like lockdowns have been here for like close to a year,
Yes.
if not more in some countries.
Mhm.
And so over a year, that really builds up. And then like if you see now compared to like 1 year ago, like where your standards, like your exercise routines, whether it's your like nutrition, diet, it's probably slipping a bit. And I feel like I've been also slipping a few times here and there.
Mhm.
And so it's like I need to like catch myself back. And so if I'm feeling it, I'm pretty sure a lot of other people
Yes.
are also feeling it. And then it's also like the loneliness can also play
Mhm.
a
Mhm.
role in it. I'm happy that I have 2 roommates in my home, so it's like it doesn't feel as bad. But like a lot of people, live alone, and even if they don't live alone, it can be pretty. It feels like you're in isolation, because like you don't pick up the phone, and they don't pick up the phone, and then it's 1 month and 2 months and then 6 months, and now it's awkward to like just text them, like people in the office and everything. So it becomes tough. I would definitely say in terms of remedies,
Mhm.
uh, is actually like just talking to people that you haven't talked to in quite some time. Honestly, like I could give you like more fancier remedies, but like that itself would be a good starting point. I feel like the most happiest moments of my life, it's not an accomplishment, but it's like an inconsequential, like 5 friends sitting and just joking around,
Yeah.
it could be in a garbage dumpster for all I care, but it would still be fun. You don't get the same moments now. So
Mhm.
it's like, whether it's through Zoom or whatever, like you can still make it the best, do the best you can with what the situation is. And then the vaccines are coming. And so once the vaccines come, hopefully by mid of the year, people will get back to more of a normal life. So I would say like more than anything, it's just um, talking to a few more people than you otherwise would. And
Mhm.
then the second thing is try to get a more standard routine,
Mhm.
like a constant time you get up in the morning, like some discipline, some form of discipline. Doesn't have to start with big things, like constant time of getting up, or yeah, something like that. That would also help.
Those are excellent points. And I think once we obviously when our world opens up a bit more, we will be able to see the friends that we didn't see for a long time, or the family members. But I think it is important just picking up that phone, or just sitting down and writing a letter to somebody, even if it's an email. It
Yeah,
opens that opportunity of reconnection. And as you said, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just the human contact, the laughter that we that just comes out naturally
yeah,
is so beneficial, isn't it? It's healing in so many ways.
for sure. Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest. I also wanted to say meditation, but like I would say that's the first.
Yes.
um,
How about sleep? I know you're a big advocate for healthy sleeping pattern.
yeah.
So what would you suggest that we could do to improve our
Yeah, I mean,
sleeping?
sleep. I mean, I just want to clarify a few facts about sleep, like as to the benefits of sleep. Like one, it's the best detox that you can give your body. Like you can think of all the fancy green drinks or like smoothies and stuff, and fancy brands and marketing, but the best thing you can do for your body is a good night's sleep. And if you can do that 365 days in a row, there's there's nothing better. You can do a lot of damage to your body, but if you can get good night's sleep for 365 days in a row, you can sort of recover. And so like that's the time when your brain is literally like washing and cleaning and repairing itself. Like when you're sleeping, your liver is like scrubbing toxins from all different parts of your body during that time. And for some people who struggle with weight management, before you even start getting on like things like trying to diet and run 100 miles and eating nothing, like that's not a good habit, first of all. But like before that, you need to improve things like hydration and sleep. The reason I say sleep is because one, from a hormone perspective, there's a hormone called ghrelin, which is a hunger hormone. It's like it tells your body to get hungry, you need food. And so there's a study which shows that if you have less than 7 hours of sleep, your ghrelin hormone increases by 15%. So it's telling your body just to be more hungry. And the other hormone called leptin, which suppresses your hunger, that hormone goes down by 15%. So you can see, like, from a hormonal perspective, if you have less sleep, you're going to feel more hungry, and that's going to make you eat more, and that's going to lead to weight gain. So that's one. And the other thing is, like, lesser sleep is correlated strongly with lower sensitivity to insulin. And so insulin is one of the things, like when you eat anything, it gets converted to blood sugar, and your insulin has to transport all of this blood sugar to different cells. But if you have low sleep and your cells are not sensitive to this insulin, all the cells are going to reject that sugar coming in. And so what insulin is going to do is, like, okay, if I can't put it on the arm or the leg, I'm just going to go straight to the belly and deposit it over there, and you start getting belly fat, and now you're pre-diabetic and also gaining weight. So like sleep is so crucial. And the other thing, like, so those are some of the benefits of sleeping, weight management, detox, like all of that. Then it's like, it's very bio-individual how sleep is. Like the sleep which you need is not maybe what I need. And there's like a book called Power of When by Dr. Michael Bruce. I think he studies sleep. He's a researcher on sleep. And he categorized people into 4 different categories. And it's like bear, lion, dolphin, and bear, lion, dolphin. I'm missing one. It's okay. Doesn't matter. And so like each of them have different characteristics. Wolf is the 4th one. And so some are like night owls, like, and many of them are bears. Like they need 8 hours sleep. It's synchronous to how the sun goes up and down. And some people, they naturally get up at 5 in the morning. Like they don't need an alarm, they just do. And to think that you also have to do that same thing is actually wrong, because they're doing what's best for their body. You need to do what's best for your body. So trying to get a bit more understanding on that. And then third is like just being consistent. Once you know which sleep pattern is the best for you, and optimizing your daily routine for that.
That is great. That's actually a great pointer. And I know within your mastermind, you introduced us to that quiz, which we all had taken. And majority of people are actually bears, so they need 8 hours sleep. I mean, I was for years burning candle at both ends. I thought I was a night owl because that is how I had my life set up since I was a teenager.
Right.
But luckily it didn't take toll on my health, because I was probably catching up on the days that I could get sleep,
Yep.
I think our bodies are probably more forgiving when we are younger, but you have to become more aware of these things as you age, obviously. And I think following those natural patterns that you discover, which you said, it's really important. Like, don't push yourself when you see that you're reaching a limit.
Yeah.
Don't go too much over, like when it comes to not eating or not sleeping, because I don't think that is healthy, right? You can
Yeah.
push yourself when you're training, when you're building your muscles, and you have enough fuel in your body. That's a different kind of pushing, what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But the deprivation.
There's definitely a place to push and a
Yes.
place not to push. And this is where like scientific research helps to know what's possible and what's not possible. There's safe ways to do it and there's unsafe ways to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really about knowing your body. And yeah, I mean, for the longest time, I wanted to be like getting up at 5 a.m. and doing all of it, but I used to feel horrible doing it.
Yeah.
But like, and I'm a bear, so I need 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And so this is like more comfortable for me, and like I feel much more productive for the rest of the day doing it. So, and this is where it's a problem, because majority of people are bears, society generally functions in a bear's timetable, like more 9 to 5 p.m. And so if you're like a wolf, if your not chronology, but your sleep chronotype is a wolf or a dolphin or something, your daily pattern of the world does not suit you very well. And so they struggle a bit. But knowing that you can make a few adjustments here and there and optimize for a better.
And also, is it true that we have different elements of all of the four inside us, and maybe at different times of our lives as well, we can behave like one archetype more than the
there's definitely something about like as you grow older, like from when you were an infant and as you're growing up, and then it sometimes changes a bit, and it's not like you're like 100% line, it's like 70%, 30%, sometimes it's a mix. It's also interesting, this like speculation from the research community, saying like, how did people have 4 different chronotypes, and came down from historical times when we were like living in caves, where like one group, they were the first to get up, they would guard in the morning, another group used to guard in the night, and like all of that would have, and people evolved from that, and so we still have that same chronotypes. We don't know if it's true, it's speculation, but it's an interesting way to look at it.
It is, and so interesting to listen to you. And I think that our education is not traditional education. Certainly the system I've been through had not provided education in this form that is easy, accessible, and we didn't understand with quite how important it is for our life, for our entire life, right? So I think that some sort of reform in the way that we get this information needs to happen. And I'm so glad that we are part of the knowledge broker industry that actually is bringing different kind of education that is now accessible. And I would urge anyone to dig a little bit deeper into this subject, because I'm the first one. I mean, I'm going to hold the hand and say that the subject never interested me, because it was just dry and boring, and it wasn't my subject. Was creativity and art and different forms of art, music, word, painting. I didn't understand the importance of it, but it wasn't presented in a way that interested me.
Yeah, there are a lot of things in school I wish I learned. I mean, like living a healthy life, that's one. Entrepreneurship could be something else, because I feel like schools fail entrepreneurs every day. A lot of people have said that. And then also like things like financial literacy. If you look at the richest people in the world, they invest like stock markets, their companies, whatever, and middle class or poor people don't. And what's really driving wealth over the last 10, 15 years, especially in the Western world, but even in like China, India, all of these places, the stock markets, they go up. And so whoever knows how to invest money, they are getting richer, and whoever doesn't, their money is actually stagnant. It's actually not stagnant, it's going down because it depreciates over time the more countries print money, which is happening a lot in the last 2 years. And so even knowing that skill, it's such a game changer for people. Like you will quadruple, like 5 times your wealth if you just know how to invest. And so that's
Absolutely.
also something they should be teaching in schools. They do.
Yes, and that is something we should start early, as soon as we start earning, because of the compound interest and everything. It just makes sense to start early. So it would make sense that this is taught in school. But
Yeah.
I didn't even know how to open a bank account when I came out of school, you know. So
Yeah,
you
I
have like
mean,
university graduates who doesn't know what to do in life.
game
Um,
changer.
yeah.
Yeah, and like starting at 21 versus 28, you think it's like, oh, it's 7 years, not big, but it's massive, the difference. Because like toward the last 5-10 years, like from 50 to 60, those compounding
Yes.
will be like huge, like the scales, like you won't
Yes.
be able to
So,
imagine.
so yes, I mean, there are holes in that system. So not here to criticize it at all, but I am here to find a new way, you know, to show there is an alternative, to go with the progress and to perhaps push us to into a new way of thinking and embracing education and life. This makes me so excited, and actually it's a good segue into the next subject that I wanted to talk to you about, which is the energy levels, because I come across so many times people ask me, where does your energy come from, you know? And I cannot, it isn't something that I put inside my body. It certainly doesn't, the food is there just to sustain me. But
Yeah.
my energy comes from my passion for life. I love life. I am grateful to be alive, and I love connection with people. That really makes me so passionate, like discovering where that can lead. And what do you think about energy? How essential it is? Because I know you mentioned in your previous interview a bit about energy, so I want to go deeper a bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things that's mental. Like the more and more I think about it, it's like so important. Like one is having like a goal or vision. Like so often, like people in their 30s and 40s, they're just continuing to do what they did in their 20s, and there's no juice in life. And so, and and if I was feeling the same way, like yeah, the energy levels is going to start dipping consistently. So there's that, like you need some exciting project. Like if it doesn't excite you, like maybe you're dreaming too small. Like maybe the dream has to be even bigger, because that's how, like there was a wonderful quote was told by my instructor. I don't know if he copied it from someone, like make your goals and dreams so big that your problems seem insignificant to you. Like it has to be that big. um, so that is one. If your dreams are like so small, like okay, my goal in life is to get a promotion, and so I can get 15% more salary, even though I have to work 20% more after that. That's not going to excite you for life. Like the energy level won't be the same. So that's one. And then the second part is like just the standards you said. uh like choosing to be energetic, like this is the minimum energy level that I'll have every day, like the enthusiasm I have. When you walk into a room, are you just stumbling into the room, or do you have an intention when you walk into the room? Like what do you want to do? I'm guilty of it sometimes. Just like stumble into the room, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm like so out of it. But like it makes a difference. You never know which opportunity comes because you were enthusiastic. So that's two. Coming from like a physical standpoint, there are like plenty. Good sleep definitely helps. Like I mentioned earlier, sleep is the best detox that you can give to your body. And so if you're not sleeping well and you're always, sleeping late is fine as long as you still get good hours of sleep and it's consistent. You're not going to detox, and all the toxins in your body are just going to like build up over time. So that's one. Sleep is huge, and if the toxins build up over time, you're going to be more and more fatigued over long periods of time. Another thing you see is stress levels. So if you're always on the go, like I need to do this work and then I need to start my business and this is something that I also will struggle with a lot, just because I have a 9 to 5 job. I want to start a business. I have other hobbies to do. So I'm always on the go. And so what you're doing right now is you need cortisol and adrenaline, and your glands are always like pumping these hormones out.
Right.
And eventually they're going to get worn out. Like it needs rest to like recover so that it can still have the same efficiency. Um, and so it's important to know when to take a vacation.
Yeah.
I remember watching this Brendan Burchard video, and he said, I go to this motivational seminars like Tony Robbins or your seminar, 6 months, I'm killing it. I'm doing amazing.
Right.
And then like it goes back to normal and like I'm bad. And what's really happening is, and he was like, you know what's really happening? When you feel like your standards and everything is slipping, it means it's time to take a vacation. And because otherwise it's just gonna like, you'll be like 9 out of 10, and then 1 month later it's 8.8 out of 10, and then 1 month later it's 8.6, and like it drops so slowly that you don't realize it, but it's dropping. And so every time you feel like it's dropping, you just catch yourself and it's like, okay, it's time for a vacation.
Yes.
And for some people it's pretty hard to do.
Yeah.
So managing stress, and then also like meditation, just slowing down your thoughts. I always give the example of, it's like your mind's like a car, and if you're always pressing the accelerator, it's not good. You also need to know how to control the brakes. And that brake is like sometimes meditation, maybe it's going for a walk, maybe it's just slowing down. So that's the stress aspect. And then there's things like exercise and movement, like which is walking. Both I consider separate. If you're just going to exercise 1 hour a day and then sleep for 23 hours a day, it's pretty much useless. It's not that good. And that's why I consider them as separate things. And there's a lot of studies which show like how it decreases your metabolism, your energy levels, even things like sweating. Sweating is also a great detox. I asked some of my clients, like, when's the last time you sweated? And they're like, they have no idea because it's been that long. And so your body is not detoxing. So yeah, sleep, nutrition matters a lot. Are you eating junk food? Are you eating a lot of sugar? All of that. And if you have a lot of junk food, carbs, sugar, your cells are going to be less sensitive to insulin. So you're eating all of it, you're getting less energy, and you're putting on weight despite having so many more calories consumption.
Right.
So yeah, it's like multifaceted. It's like 7-8 things. Yes. And it's a combination of them. And some people will be strong in 3 or 4 and weak in 3 or 4. Some people will be bad in all 8. And so it's just trying to find from the 7 or 8 dimensions, which is an easy win for you first. Yes. Maybe it's hydration. Maybe it's drinking more water. So let's start there. And then let's pick the second easiest habit for you. And, that's how you slowly improve up. It's not a 5-day process where suddenly you just switch it.
No. Yes, you have to build those habits and those routines. But if we have helped raise awareness a little bit as to how important it is to manage this machine that actually then conducts this happy and fulfilling life. Because if our body isn't rested, if our body is constantly under stress, if we are not sleeping enough or not sleeping in a good pattern, if we are pushing ourselves and not hydrating enough, then we're going to suffer. The energy levels are going to suffer, and we cannot thrive in any other area of our life. So I think this is where it starts with. Do you think that?
Yeah, and your body, it's also important to think of your body as an ecosystem. Just like the entire planet Earth is an ecosystem with so many different species and plants and oceans, it's all interconnected. Your body is also kind of interconnected. Like if you include the red blood cells in your body, more than 50% of your cells is actually your gut microbiome, different species of bacteria living on your skin, on your gut, everything. And if they are not happy, you're not going to be happy. It's a symbiotic relationship. They get easy food from you, and they and they also metabolize a lot of nutrients for you, which you otherwise would not have. And so there's like a beneficial thing. But if you're eating bad food and always stressed out, and there's like a, there's a nerve, vagus nerve connecting your brain to your gut. When you're stressed, your gut also becomes stressed, the bacteria in your gut. And when they are stressed, they are also going to put toxins back in your head. And so it's like, it goes both ways. It's a two-way relationship. And so it's like maintaining an entire ecosystem. It's really fascinating how the body and the planet and everything works. It's very interconnected.
Absolutely. I think you are the world's best kept secret. We need to get you out there.
It means I haven't done my marketing well enough yet.
You are learning, I think. But what makes me so excited is that having grasped all of these things, that now we had an opportunity to meet, and not only to meet, but as you said, to work on different projects together and to follow each other's progress. And I am absolutely thrilled. Do you want to share a little bit of the project that we are working on, and that we are hoping very shortly to be able to actually send an invitation to everyone to join us in this movement?
Yeah, so it's still under development, I would say. But so far, and correct me if I'm wrong, and like this could change later as well, but like it's like a 31-day challenge. We have 3 partners working, like me living in the United States, Katrina living in the United Kingdom, and Kinga living in Romania. Yeah, so it's like 3 different countries, like 3 people partnering together. So that's fun. And I think it's like, it's going to be like a 31-day challenge. I can say from my part, and then you can say from yours and Kinga's part. Like, I'll be doing like a 5-day meditation challenge, followed by a 21-day walking challenge, and followed by a 5-day no sugar challenge. I know the 5-day no sugar challenge will intimidate some people, but it's really like building up in the 5 days. And it's only on day 5 where you're truly having no sugar. So it's just 1 day out of the 5. So yeah, it's just like building small habits and stacking them on top of each other. And, the science of habit building, it's not the person who has that perfect streak that wins. It's the person who can come back after a failure more often than not that wins. And so, because all of us have done this, like we have this perfect streak where we're trying to break a habit, and then 10 days perfect, and the 11th day it breaks, and you know what, this is messed up. I'm not doing this anymore. And so it's just changing the mindset. It's like, okay, you failed, can I get back up? And instead of counting how many days you did it perfectly, counting how many times you got back up. That is a better metric of success in building a new habit. It's like, you know what, I failed 7 times, but I got back up 7 times as well. Like that is outstanding. So it's habit building, 31 days. So that's the health aspect of it. And yeah, I mean, you can also share.
The health aspect is the leading aspect, I must say. And Joseph is the leader of this challenge. I'm not even sure that we will call it a challenge, but it is a movement, and it is designed to connect people across Earth. So from all areas, we already have friends from 4 different continents joining us. And it's going to be very exciting, because I will be the person who is all about making connections, all about inspiration that we get when we get involved in these activities. So when we follow meditation, what is the inspiration that is coming up? When we go for a walk, what are the things that we're noticing, things that we can later share with each other? And that is where the connection comes. We want to bring and build the network here with one another, because this is it. This is how we create connection, is by being open to having a connection. That will be my part. And then Kinga, as a psychologist and a life coach, she will be there to answer questions, because sometimes when we dig a little bit deeper, like in meditation or in walking, there are questions that come up to the surface. And she's just going to be like a friend supporting you on that journey alongside with us. So you can actually get those deeper questions answered. So we're not going to give away much more of this. Just to tell you that this challenge is not designed to lead you to buy anything at the end of it. The challenge will be free, because it is our deepest passion and motivation to get people moving this season and to get us all connected through this activity.
Yeah.
That is our goal and a mission here. You can tell how excited we are.
Yeah, I mean, and it's all about like the connection, right? Like you asked me in the very beginning of the interview, like stress, and like people are lonely now, and so it's just an interesting group of people coming together and trying to do something interesting. And we hope that it improves your habits a little bit. It gives you a more solid foundation. And my first mastermind, I called it Step 1 Get Healthy Mastermind, because I always felt like the first thing you should do, everyone, is like get healthy. From that, you can build your relationships, build your business, even improve upon your job, whatever, but you need that energy and health to build that foundation. So yeah, so it's a great challenge, movement.
A project, what connection, a friendship, whatever you want to call it, you're welcome to call it that. We won't reveal anything else here, but if you are interested in joining this movement, just drop us a comment here in the comment section. And we will get in touch with you. Otherwise, you can wait for the when the official announcement comes. And we're hoping to have that ready by the end of perhaps next week.
Yeah, excited about that.
Lovely. Listen, it's been great chatting with you, and I can talk to you for hours, but I appreciate your time and the time of our audience. I'm grateful to everyone who has joined us, because they just demonstrate that their health matters, that they put themselves first, because if we don't look after ourselves, we cannot help anyone else.
Can't agree more.
Lovely. Well, I hope to see you soon, and I know I will be seeing you soon. So thanks a lot for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you.